Netflix's Cobra Kai revives the beloved 1980s franchise The Karate Kid. Decades after Daniel LaRusso's victory over Johnny Lawrence in a karate tournament, we learn that Johnny's life hasn't gone as planned. Now living in a rundown apartment and working as a part-time handyman, Johnny is estranged from his teenage son Robbie and plagued by ads for Daniel LaRusso's successful auto dealership, fueling his resentment. After losing his job, Johnny steps in to defend his teenage neighbor Miguel from bullies using his karate skills. Miguel, a socially awkward outcast, is impressed and begs Johnny to train him, inspiring Johnny to reopen the Cobra Kai dojo. The dojo quickly attracts more outcasts, including Miguel's friend Lip, who, after embracing his facial scar, adopts the nickname Hawk and a mohawk hairstyle. Although the Cobra Kai of Johnny's youth was ruthless, he tries to instill more honor in his students than his old sensei, John Kreese, ever did. The once bullied outcasts gain confidence and camaraderie, with Johnny growing closer to Miguel in a relationship reminiscent of Mr. Miyagi and Daniel. Meanwhile, Johnny's son Robbie starts working at Daniel LaRusso's car dealership. Unaware of Robbie's parentage, Daniel mentors him in karate, sparking Johnny's fury and reigniting their old rivalry. Adding more complexity, Daniel's daughter Sam becomes involved in a love triangle with Miguel and Robbie. At the 50th anniversary karate championship, Cobra Kai students fight dirty, echoing Kreese's tactics from Johnny's original fight against Daniel. Robbie also enters the tournament, facing off against Hawk in the semifinals. Hawk is disqualified after dislocating Robbie's shoulder, and in the final round, Miguel targets Robbie's injury to win the tournament. As Cobra Kai celebrates, Johnny is dismayed by his students' behavior and resolves to be a better mentor. Daniel takes the injured Robbie to Mr. Miyagi's former home, where he announces plans to open his own dojo, Miyagi-Do. Season 1 ends with a drunken Johnny being confronted by Kreese, who praises him for reviving Cobra Kai. In Season 2, Johnny reluctantly allows a remorseful Kreese to rejoin Cobra Kai as co-sensei. Determined to improve himself, Johnny tries to reconnect with his son Robbie, but Robbie rejects his apologies. Meanwhile, Cobra Kai grows in popularity, attracting new students, including Tori, who starts dating Miguel. When their old friend Dimitri tries to join Cobra Kai, Kreese punches him and Hawk mocks him, prompting Dimitri to switch to Miyagi-Do. At Miyagi-Do, Daniel invites Robbie to live with his family and begins training both Robbie and his daughter Sam, who are now dating. When Miguel learns that Robbie is Johnny's son, Johnny confesses his past failures as a father, but promises to do better by Miguel. Despite Miguel's warnings about Kreese's bad influence, Johnny believes Kreese deserves a second chance, just as he did. However, Kreese proves unworthy of that trust by instructing Hawk to vandalize Miyagi-Do and steal Mr. Miyagi's Medal of Honor. Daniel, suspecting Johnny's involvement, confronts him at the Cobra Kai dojo, leading many students to defect to Miyagi-Do, fearing Johnny might be a bad influence. The situation worsens when Johnny leaves to visit a terminally ill friend, allowing Kreese to fully take over Cobra Kai, spreading more ruthless tactics. Upon returning, Johnny expels Kreese, and Miguel retrieves Mr. Miyagi's Medal of Honor from Hawk, giving it to Robbie to restore to its rightful place. Johnny and Daniel begin to bond, with Johnny even confessing his lingering feelings for their mutual ex-girlfriend, Allie. Johnny also develops feelings for Miguel's mother, Carmen, and they start dating. At a house party, Sam kisses Miguel after realizing he returned the Medal of Honor. Tori witnesses the kiss and feels betrayed by Miguel. Unaware of the kiss, Robbie takes a drunk Sam to Johnny's apartment, worried about how Daniel would react. Johnny lets them stay the night, but when Daniel finds out, he angrily takes Sam home and banishes Robbie from both his house and his dojo. The situation escalates when, the next day at school, Tori announces over the PA system that she saw Sam kissing Miguel, revealing to Robbie that Sam cheated on him. This leads to a fight between Tori and Sam, which escalates into a full-blown school brawl. Miguel and Robbie face off, with Miguel gaining the upper hand but choosing to show mercy, remembering Johnny's teachings. However, a bitter Robbie takes advantage of this, attacking Miguel and accidentally knocking him off a balcony, leaving him paralyzed and unconscious. Robbie flees, and Miguel is rushed to the hospital. In the aftermath, Daniel's wife Amanda insists on shutting down Miyagi-Do. Carmen breaks up with Johnny, and the Cobra Kai students blame Johnny for Miguel's injury, choosing to follow Kreese as their sensei instead. In Season 3 of Cobra Kai, everyone is still reeling from the aftermath of the massive school fight. Sam begins suffering from PTSD due to her fight with Tori, Miguel is told he may never walk again, and Robbie is on the run. Johnny and Daniel temporarily put their differences aside to find Robbie, who Daniel turns into the authorities in the hopes of earning him a lesser sentence. Robbie feels betrayed by Daniel and now feels resentful of both Daniel and Johnny. In the aftermath of the school fight, Daniel has shut down Miyagi-Do and his car dealership isn't looking too great either. A rival businessman makes an exclusive deal with Japanese car importer Toyota that could put Daniel out of business. Daniel then travels to Tokyo to try to negotiate a deal, but ultimately fails. Dejected, Daniel decides to go to Mr. Miyagi's hometown of Okinawa, as seen in The Karate Kid Part 2. There, he reconnects with his old flame Kumiko and his former rival Chosen, who both inspire and reinvigorate Daniel. To top it all off, Daniel meets Yuna, the vice president of sales for Toyota, who just so happened to be the young girl he saved from a typhoon in Karate Kid 2. Yuna allows Daniel's dealership to remain partnered with Toyota, and so Daniel returns to America re-inspired and with his business saved. And after talking to his daughter Sam about the trauma she was suffering after her fight with Tori, Daniel imparts some wisdom on his daughter and decides to reopen Miyagi-Do. Meanwhile, Johnny stays by Miguel's side and helps train and rehabilitate him, eventually helping Miguel to walk again. This brings him back closer to Miguel's mother, Carmen, just as his high school girlfriend Allie returns to town. Johnny and Allie reconnect, and although they don't rekindle their relationship, Allie further inspires Johnny to stay on his path of redemption. But that's easier said than done, as John Kreese has now fully taken over the Cobra Kai dojo, and further poisons the minds of its students. Kreese begins bringing in new members to join Cobra Kai, mostly athletic bullies, and kicks out anyone who objects to his ruthless methods. Throughout the season, the members of Cobra Kai, led by Hawk and Tori, continue to violently antagonize the students of Miyagi-Do. This eventually leads to Hawk breaking the arm of his former best friend, Dimitri. Further bolstering Cobra Kai is the addition of Robbie, who is fresh out of juvie and harboring a lot of bitterness toward Johnny and Daniel for seemingly betraying him. Johnny then starts his own new dojo, Eagle Fang Karate, with Miguel as his first student. When Miguel and Sam rekindle their relationship, they also strike up an alliance between Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do to take down Cobra Kai. When Cobra Kai attacks the newly aligned dojos at Daniel LaRusso's home, Sam conquers her fears and defeats Tori, while Hawk finally has a change of heart and joins his old friends in defeating the bullies. After learning of Cobra Kai's assault on the LaRusso home, Johnny and Daniel confront Kreese, who now has Robbie fully on his side. Kreese agrees to leave if Cobra Kai loses the upcoming karate tournament, and then makes a call to his old villainous pal Terry Silver from The Karate Kid Part 3 to join his dojo. And so Johnny and Daniel put aside their differences and merge their dojos, working as co-senseis to train their students to take down Cobra Kai once and for all. In Season 4 of Cobra Kai, Daniel and Johnny struggled to adjust to their new alliance after merging their Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang dojos. Although they are now allies and somewhat friends, their constant bickering over teaching styles creates tension. As Daniel grows closer to Miguel, Johnny becomes jealous, especially since he's secretly dating Miguel's mother, Carmen. Eventually, Johnny confesses to Miguel about his relationship with Carmen and expresses his desire to be a good father figure to him. However, when Johnny accidentally calls Miguel Robbie, their relationship becomes strained. Meanwhile, the newly united John Kreese and Terry Silver from Cobra Kai confront Johnny and Daniel, mocking Johnny for playing second fiddle to Daniel, which further strains their partnership. With the All-Valley Karate Tournament approaching, Daniel suggests taking over as the lead sensei due to his history with Terry Silver. Johnny dismisses the idea and proposes they fight to determine who should lead. The fight ends in a draw, leading Johnny and Daniel to part ways. Miguel stays with Johnny and Eagle Fang, while Hawk, Sam, and Dimitri remain with Miyagi-Do. Over at Cobra Kai, Robbie begins teaching his fellow students everything he learned from Daniel, giving Cobra Kai the advantage of using Miyagi-Do's techniques against them. Robbie also mentors a young middle schooler, Kenny, who was bullied by Daniel's son, Anthony. However, as Kenny learns from Cobra Kai, he turns from the bullied into a bully. When former Cobra Kai student Stingray begs to rejoin, a drunken Terry viciously beats him. When Cobra Kai confronts Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do students at a drive-in theater, Miguel subdues them without violence, but Cobra Kai retaliates by shaving off Hawk's mohawk, prompting him to go by his real name, Eli. Meanwhile, Amanda LaRusso notices Tori's struggles and tries to help her return to school after being expelled, which frustrates her daughter Sam, who still resents Tori. As Tori continues training at Cobra Kai, she grows closer to Robbie, and they begin dating. At the All-Valley tournament, students from Eagle Fang, Miyagi-Do, and Cobra Kai compete for the championship. Cobra Kai wins the skills competition, and in the boys' division, Miguel and Eli face off in the semifinals. Unfortunately, the match ends abruptly when Miguel pulls a muscle in his back. Eli advances to the finals and defeats Robbie, using a combination of techniques from Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, and Cobra Kai to win the tournament. Daniel, realizing the benefits of merging fighting styles, aligns with Johnny again to create a new style called Miyagi Fang. For the final match in the girls' division, Daniel and Johnny encourage Sam to use Miyagi Fang against Tori, while Terry encourages Tori to fight dirty. Kreese, feeling that Terry has gone too far, begins to reflect on how his actions have impacted Johnny and the students. Despite Sam's best efforts, Tori wins the match using illegal moves that go unpenalized. With 2 out of 3 divisions won, Cobra Kai is named tournament champion. After the match, Tori catches Terry bribing the referee to secure her victory. As the season concludes, Anthony LaRusso tries to apologize to Kenny, who viciously attacks him until Robbie intervenes. This leads Robbie to break down in front of Johnny, and the two reconcile. Terry frames Kreese for the attack on Stingray, resulting in Kreese's arrest. Meanwhile, Miguel heads to Mexico in search of his biological father, and Daniel recruits his old rival-turned-ally Chosen to help defeat Cobra Kai once and for all. In Season 5 of Cobra Kai, Terry Silver has taken full control of the dojo and begins expanding his empire by opening new locations across the city. To stop him, Daniel and Chosen devise a plan to take Terry down from the inside. Chosen goes undercover as a sensei at one of Terry's new Cobra Kai dojos, but when Terry uncovers the deception, he orders his senseis to attack Chosen, who defeats them effortlessly. Daniel and Chosen also confront Mike Barnes, Daniel's former rival and Terry's former student. Mike, now reformed and resentful of Terry's behavior, has turned his life around. Enraged by Mike's betrayal, Terry burns down Mike's business. Terry also recruits a new, more ruthless sensei, Kim, who becomes his most trusted partner. Together, they teach the Cobra Kai students the brutal Quicksilver method, which emphasizes fighting without honor and causing intentional harm to opponents. Meanwhile, Miguel finds his biological father, Hector, in Mexico. Hector has a new wife and son, but turns out to be a criminal with no interest in reconnecting with Miguel. Heartbroken, Miguel returns to California with Johnny and Robbie, who had gone on a father-son road trip to find him. Back home, Johnny learns that Carmen is pregnant and becomes determined to be a better father, learning from his past mistakes with Robbie. He also encourages Miguel and Robbie to reconcile, which they eventually do, excited to soon be brothers with Johnny's new baby on the way. Samantha decides to break up with Miguel to focus on discovering her own goals and aspirations. Robbie urges Tori to leave Cobra Kai and Terry Silver, but she refuses, leading to their breakup. However, Tori secretly works with the imprisoned Kreese to bring Terry down, and she helps Daniel uncover that Terry paid Stingray to falsely accuse Kreese of assault. Daniel and Johnny soon discover that Terry plans to enter Cobra Kai in the Sakai Takai, the most prestigious karate tournament in the world, aiming to make Cobra Kai a global brand. To counter this, Johnny, Daniel, and Chosen train their students to compete in the tournament, with Tori offering to be a double agent inside Cobra Kai. She eventually confesses to Sam that Terry bribed the referee during their All-Valley match, leading to a reconciliation between them after Sam learns about Tori's mother's severe illness. Tori also becomes a rogue student, feeding information to Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. A vengeful Mike Barnes convinces Johnny and Chosen to confront Terry and his senseis in a brutal showdown, though Daniel refuses to stoop to Terry's level. Chosen is severely injured in the fight, but Johnny and Mike manage to defeat the senseis. Meanwhile, Tori leads the Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang students in a mission to obtain footage of Terry admitting to rigging the All-Valley tournament. As they break into the Cobra Kai dojo, Kim and her students arrive, sparking a massive fight between the three dojos. During the chaos, Eli, Dimitri, and Anthony successfully acquire the footage and broadcast it to the Cobra Kai students, shattering their trust in Terry. Instead of joining the physical confrontation, Daniel, Amanda, and Carmen convince a remorseful Stingray to reveal the truth about Terry's assault. With his students turning against him, Terry becomes enraged and challenges Daniel to a fight. Daniel uses Terry's own Quicksilver method against him and finishes the battle with Mr. Miyagi's signature crane kick, leading to Terry's arrest. As the season concludes, Daniel and Johnny celebrate their victory, and Robbie, Tori, Miguel, and Sam all reconcile their relationships. However, unbeknownst to them, John Kreese has faked his death and escaped from prison, preparing for his ultimate revenge.